gotta go, cause I got me a drop top, and if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop. Had to stop at a red light, looking in my mirror, not a jacker in sight, and everything is alright. I got a beat from Kim, and she could do it.
Hi, Toll.
Hi, Sticky.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you enjoying this fall of Eid, March of Eid? What do the Roman scholars call it?
It's the Ides of March, and that was yesterday, and of course I did, as a highly celebrated holiday on my social media of choice.
Wait, was it? What is it? Whatever, we're not supposed to talk about the day.
It's Stab Caesar Day. That's all that matters.
Well, whatever. The important detail is we've no new comments, no real new engagement, so we're just marching on with the time, just like everybody marched on after that guy got stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
At 2 Sherlock.
God, don't bring Sherlock into this.
What were you saying?
So last time we were, Alex and the gang were chasing down leads as to where the van holding this mysterious android woman might be.
We should definitely just play Vileguard instead of YIIK.
I mean, would you actually have more fun?
No, how far did I get in that game? Maybe 35 minutes before I hit a fucking turret section, and I went, what is this, fucking 2007, and quit.
It was no, you see, it was a ballista section.
So who gives a fuck? Apparently there's a character in the plot who literally turns to camera and says, "Hello, I am non-binary." Which is, if I recall, their name is Vash, and they're a Quanari who already have a weird concept of gender, where gender is, I'm probably getting this wrong, gender is based on which, if you enter the military, even if you're a woman, people refer to you as a male because of whatever. But they're like, instead of just being like, I don't really identify as either, they're like, hello, I am non-binary in a world without computers.
What's a binary?
Yeah, like, we don't even, like, I already have this problem with the tabletop game because there's one too many queer folk around, and I'm like, I don't need a character to turn to screen and go, hello, I'm a big old... Hey, by the way, Lechtal.
Is that what? I'm sorry, another
some
giant
kind of bizarre
woman?
It's some kind of bizarre short stack furry OC who has Rayman arms. I don't know.
You don't have to draw the arms. I understand perfectly. I hate drawing arms.
I just don't understand what the statues are about. My best guess is that once you clear them, maybe their cursed goggle NPC appears somewhere, but fuck if I know. By the way, this is me realizing that I've been able to break these blue blocks for fucking ever.
I'm sorry, are we getting depth out of these side dungeons? Literally, it's going down.
Yeah, ha ha ha. Yeah, it's like a Super Mario Sunshine deck. I don't know. So this entire fucking episode is just me going through all the side dungeons and clearing them out the best I can. Looking to get as much XP as possible so we have a nice straight shot for the plot.
And we can get more blood bags for more upgrades.
To
keep feeding
that being said, we have nothing to talk about, so we better figure something out. Probably something amusing and not like political ranting, me shitting on games that teenagers like because I'm old.
See that Legends Arceus? No, not Legends Arceus. The Legends AZ trailer?
Isn't it Legends ZA? Whatever.
Yeah, it's ZA. Why did they put the A out there?
I don't know why they were like, yeah, you know what this Pokemon City needs? Anti-homeless benches.
See, I understand exactly how that ended up in the design, and it's still bad. It's literally the artist going, yeah, that's what a bench looks like, because he's only ever seen anti-homeless benches.
A lot of Pokemon's designs have become, I believe I'm using this term correctly, anachronistic, where they no longer fit into the rest of the world. Like, it's really weird seeing modern buildings next to a fucking Pokemon. But seeing, like, brutalism in a Pokemon game is really strange. Especially when you have, like, a building that has a singular window texture every 5 feet looping across its entire surface. It's just really weird.
I think it's interesting that they've decided to set the entire game in that main city, but I don't know if they can pull it off.
I hope they can, but I don't really care.
There was I guess neither of us have played Legends Arceus, but in Scarlet...
I did. What do you mean? I played Legends Arceus. I've got it on my very much a Switch and not a Steam Deck.
Okay, so you've played 45 minutes of Legends Arceus.
I've played about 2 hours of Legends Arceus. What I would say is that game looks like shit. That game, I've never played a full-priced game that I did not pay full price for to then be given sub 30 frame rate and a render distance that makes Dragon's Dogma on the Xbox 360 look good.
At least Dragon's Dogma had an idea. The first one, at
Yeah,
least.
at least it had like solid gameplay and didn't drop below 30 frames consistently. Now, admittedly, I was in fact running it on my very much a Switch and not a Steam Deck, so
The Switch-shaped
I can't.
object.
Yeah, Switch-shaped object. So I can't be sure on the frame rate issues, but when I watch people playing it on Switch, it doesn't look any fucking better. And in fact, the only good version that I've seen is somebody running it on one of their modern PCs at 60 frame rate using a mod that extends the render distance so the game doesn't look like utter dog shit. And Nintendo, you're really holding back everything at this point.
Nintendo hire some optimizers.
Yeah, especially when they're like, yeah, the Switch 2, it's more powerful. And all I can think is, okay, are you going to make all these games that don't run good? Is there going to be a patch for Scarlet and Violet, for Sword and Shield, for Legends Arceus that makes those games run good?
Honestly, if they patch Scarlet and Violet, I'd probably want to play it again, because I didn't hate that game.
Oh yeah, it had a bunch of ideas that were well executed. It just runs like dog shit.
It runs like dog shit, and the online is very disappointing.
Oh yeah, very glitchy, not very well thought out. It's not only glitchy, it's buggy because you can't even like consistently rely on it to work. And then on top of all of that, like, how are you supposed to play a game where someone can walk 45 feet away and just vanish? Not much of a co-op game. I'm probably not going to care about Pokemon for a while yet. I'm sure maybe ZA has some interesting ideas with its more action combat idea, but I fucking doubt it.
We doubt it at what will probably be a release sticker price of like $75.
Yeah, and it'll sell 15 million copies because it's Pokemon, and Pokemon fans are A, either young, or B, very undiscerning. So.
I'm surprised that with the Legends games, they have stepped away from the dual release, because that made them so very much money. Tits and bum.
Yeah, tits and bum. And then they'll release Pokemon Penis 5 years later.
Pokemon Legends Penis?
Pokemon Penis Legend, yeah. What's funny about the fucking dual release is now they get away with even more microtransactions, because if they sell both versions of the game as a bundle, but then if you buy the expansion for one, you don't buy the expansion for the other. So all in all, if you say have 2 children and they both want to play a different version because they've tricked your children into thinking that you're going to be spending like $200 and something for Pokemon. And nah, I'm good, Captain. Everyone should be ready for Smogon to die because Pokemon Showdown is not going to last. No, now there's Pokemon. Wait, what's it called? Pokemon Showdown? What? No.
Champion?
Pokemon Champions, maybe? Yeah, something like that. They're gonna make a worse version of Pokemon Showdown, except it will be like, yo, you have to actually still catch them and you can't change their stats, so it's not gonna be the battle simulator people want. Because the whole point is people want a battle simulator. They don't want to spend fucking hours farming so they can have 8 identical Tinkatons with slightly different stat arrays depending on what they want that Tinkaton to do. They just want to hit Tinkaton, fiddle with the numbers, give it the item, and call it a fucking day. Especially when you have to deal with hidden abilities and you have to deal with fucking, like, IVs and EVs and all this crap. Ah, fuck off.
If the fact that they're doing this is a real misunderstanding of what the appeal of competitive Pokemon is in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Oh yeah. Why is this dungeon just Alex getting trapped in a glass box?
Because I was too stupid to think and go, wait, I didn't go over there.
Oh, there's
Trust me.
more cracks.
Yeah, there's more cracks, and I just was being too dumb to notice. In reality, I was supposed to touch that pad, and I fucked myself.
Are you stuck in the hole?
No, I just have to leave and come back and redo it.
Hmm.
I won't realize for another minute or two.
And this is just the first of, like, what, 7, 10 dungeons?
Mm-hmm. There's no real source of logic for how everything goes wrong with Pokemon, because you would think they would want to have the best possible showing, but in reality all they care about is the merchandise sales, so they don't give a fuck.
At the very least, you'd think they would have, like, a new generation of hungry devs who grew up loving Pokemon and now want to make Pokemon.
But they're all making their own games. They're making fucking not capsule monsters, cassette beasts.
Oh,
They're making a Node Null, they're making, or a Node Heart rather. They're making, trying to think of other good monster games. I've played so many. I will actively put, the people making Palworld are doing that because they want money. Let's not pretend they are, besides it's less Pokemon and more Arc Survival Evolved. They've just taken it doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about Palworld. I will actually put together a list and put it in the not the comments, in the bio if anyone cares, of good monster collecting games that you can play and support indie devs who care more than the Pokemon producers. Not the Pokemon devs, mind you. I fully believe the people behind Scarlet and Violet love Pokemon, but the producers don't give a fuck. Oh god, there's like a monster storm outside right now. You hear that, listener? I'm sorry, I can't control the weather right now.
Right now. Give us a little while. With your support.
With your support, I will have the Cabal's weather laser. God, I hate these aliens.
Funny alien? You got 2 funny aliens and a monkey?
Well, it's the Megabot nurse.
Oh, that's why the Megabot nurse is actually pretty cute.
There's actually quite a few Megabots that are going to be showing up in the next dungeon.
That makes sense.
Which we will be getting to in the next episode.
Oh, but
this episode is just me killing things, and we'll be cutting out large chunks, I assume, because bang.
Bang. Bang is fun, but you can't.
There's nothing interesting going on right now, so we need to find other topics, or otherwise be entertaining for about another, oh god, an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh lord.
God, that rain. I kind of want to just go out in the rain. We can just let the video play for 20 minutes.
We will cut out the next 20 minutes of gameplay so you can go out in the rain.
Yeah, so I can spin around with my tits out.
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing it say I unlocked some kind of thing.
She certainly has more color now.
Yeah, once you finish it, she changes color. Once you complete a dungeon, they gain their like full palette. And look, there's a treasure chest hiding. With the Hungry Traveler, who is not good.
What's the ability of the Hungry Traveler?
Fuck if I remember. I think it's like a drain ability. It's very mediocre. Here's me thinking about the short stack.
Let's see, first dungeon down.
Come on, YIIK developers, fucking contact me and I'll give you a short stack to put in this game. I'll make short stack Vela.
Clearly.
I don't care.
Clearly, they yearn for some kind of weird psychosexual expression, and we can support that. We want to support that.
I'm pretty sure I can't figure out how this dungeon works. Oh, look, there's Rollerbot.
I like Rollerbot.
So the one thing we will be doing of note is I will be getting my revenge on that Rollerbot from the level 1 dungeon. Look, it's Megabot 1 and Megabot 2. They have naval lasers for some reason.
I mean, naval lasers are pretty classic.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were nipple lasers. Am I just thinking about Digimon?
I think you're just thinking about Digimon.
To be fair, if I had titty missiles,
you would never stop using them.
you couldn't stop me.
I don't know, I like the belly button laser, it amuses me, but I did like Care Bears as a child.
I always found the Care Bears to be horrifying, but I could never figure out why. What I think is funny is that I only will realize this in a few minutes, that the candle is unlocked when I do the Ascension dungeon, which is immediately ahead. So I really should have started doing this grind then and not now, because then I would have the flamethrower.
The flamethrower?
Yeah.
Yes, the solution to all these giant candles is a flamethrower.
Yeah, it's not really it's just like a can of hairspray or something that you put a lighter in front of and you go, wee. Yeah, it's nothing.
Very nice.
I hate you, wind-up car. Why do you have 190 health?
What, does it just have very beefy cards?
No, they just keep enhancing the stats on monsters to get them more competitive, I guess. A lot of the monsters don't have anything unique to do. In fact, I honestly think that most monsters do not have any form of, like, special ability, so a lot of them are just smacking you in the face. Which is fine, but they could have given this car something else.
A trample mechanic.
I like hitting it, though, because it goes, huh. That's fun.
That is a good noise. It's a shame that there aren't more custom, like, special monsters, because when they do that, it tends to be interesting, like the android that shoots you constantly. That's good. Why are we fighting a football helmet?
I don't know, because I would assume the enemies are randomized. I don't know. Why is the music like fucking Peruvian pan flute music you'd buy off the fucking street for $3?
Music I would be playing in my old spa job.
Background music and Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Nobody knows what the fuck I'm referencing, and if you do, you're cringe like me.
Devil's Sacrament. Who is Ty the Tasmanian Tiger?
It's a action platformer from the PS2 era. All of my homies will remember that weird fucking shark level, or shark boss fight on the second level. That was super confusing for me and took me hours to figure out as I did not have access to the internet. Good game. Well, at least I remember being a teenager and thinking it was a good game.
I see, most of my immediate family, I did not have access to PlayStation platforms, so my only association with the PS2 era is The Simpsons Hit and Run. And so I'm just imagining Simpsons Hit and Run, but somehow there's a shark level. I'm going,
No, it was more like, it's hard to compare it to anything because it also had like a boomerang-based gameplay loop, and
So he's Tasmanian?
Yeah, cause he dual-wields boomerangs, and you use them as melee and ranged weapon, and there's like 8 different boomerangs that have different properties. Although, the best one was just to take the explosion rang, or boomerang. But yeah, it was called the boomerang, I think, because they just blew up.
I just went boom.
There was also a boomerang you could throw that you could remote control, which is the final test of the game for some reason, is you have to take this boomerang for the first time ever and control it to send it down a big tube that's about 2 minutes long, and if it touches anything, it will immediately explode and you'll have to start over. On top of the fact that there's tons of moving shit inside, and it's like super tight and confusing, and you have no experience with using this damn thing.
They just hand it to you and say, "Congratulations, are you ready to finish the game?"
Well, do this little loop-de-loop puzzle. I know we've been testing you on how to solve a Rubik's Cube, but, I want to see you hula hoop for 2 minutes straight. Come on now. Clap, clap, clap.
We don't have this kind of innovative game design anymore. Nobody
No,
expects you
well,
to hula hoop.
There's equivalent bullshit. System Shock 1 is infamous for the fact that the final boss is inside the hacker mode, which is this horrid first-person flight sim thing, where everything's just made out of shapes and shit. It's pretty awful. You know what's also awful? This terrible texture on the screen. I do not like looking at it.
It's like they put a camo overlay.
Yeah. Ugh, God, this music makes me sleepy. And then I realize there's a candle up here and I can't even get past. I think I'm going to spend a few moments, or am I going to immediately recognize this is a folly?
It looks like you're gonna try and break it.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna fucking succeed. I don't know why I thought Panda could help me here. Am I reconsidering right now?
Are you gonna make the smart decision?
No, I'm probably right now going Candle YIIK. Oh, maybe not.
If you searched Candle YIIK at this point, then we wouldn't have the next hour of dungeon grinding.
No, there's still plenty of dungeons to do that don't need candles. Although there's a lot of them that you can't clear because they're like level 5 dungeon, but also you can't clear them because you're missing the candle, which is
You have to
fucking weird.
progress to nearly, halfway through the game in order to do
Yeah,
this level 1 dungeon.
I think it's about 40%. It's so weird to have low-level dungeons. The first, side dungeon you find has an enemy locked off that's essentially telling you to fuck your hat. Go get the candle, the flamethrower, and then you can come back and clear this dungeon.
You know, I think it would have been funny if instead of cutting the hair, using the hair flip cut thing from Rory on the Moa heads, you use the hairspray instead and give them a new style, then they let you pass.
That would be fun.
Alas,
Maybe they could,
alack.
smile and rock it away.
You're friends now, you gave them a good hair day. I'd do a lot of things for someone to fix my hair.
You do have hair sort of like one of those, horrid sirens in a monster movie.
I have, in your own words, fucked up witch hair.
Yeah.
I should probably stop cutting my own hair, that would help, but I don't even know what I would say to a hairdresser at this point.
Make me look like an anime girl.
I genuinely had that moment. That was a very specific anime girl in the in the Hajime no Ippo. It was the girlfriend.
Kumi?
No, not Kumi. I do love Kumi though. The girlfriend of the first guy that Ippo fights, who is kind of a shithead that wasn't putting any effort into boxing. She had the bangs and the cute glasses.
Yeah, I know you. Oh god, sorry, let's start catching up yawning. The music was putting me to sleep. Curse you, Reeds. Yeah, Ippo's good. If you haven't watched Ippo, listener, you totally should. It has more penis in it than you'd think.
It has a lot of penis in it. I feel like somehow the manga has even more penis in it.
Definitely does. Haha, me and the boys in the shower just joshing around, so I use both hands to grab his monster hog. You know, like straight people do.
You know, like men.
Ippo, you're such a
So long, Bowser!
Yeah, we're all gonna run away from you because you said something slightly appreciative and homosexual about your rival.
Definitely would, though.
Would.
I wish. I can't wait in 40 years when Ippo gets remade, but it's queer as fuck. That would be great.
Queer
as
as
I
fuck,
said,
except for Takamura, who is exactly the same.
I want to see a fight against a boxer who, when they're clinching, he just leans in and gives them a little smooch on the cheek.
What would the ref do? It could do it. There's no rule about this.
Can't stop him. And then while they're stunned from the gay kiss, they get punched in the teeth. Oh yeah, here's definitely a part we're gonna have to cut. Me being unable to do the candle trick now. Despite doing it almost flawlessly the first time. I think I was here for like 10 minutes. Donald Duck when he went to war. And was killing the Nazis. Oh,
You did it!
thank
you did
God.
it!
I think I'm gonna cut all of that out except the last part. Yeah, so let's fight this dickhead with Mr. 1000 HP. When I ran from this fight, I was terrified he was gonna be a super hard, super scary monster. But honestly, I probably could have done this at the beginning of Superstar Michael.
I mean, Superstar Michael is oppressive and all-consuming. But I think this is the better time to be doing it since you've got the whole party, most of the party to play with. I mean, you still aren't even intended to be able to do this.
Yeah, they don't want me to be here. But you know what I say to that?
Fuck you.
My favorite challenges are the ones I'm told, you probably shouldn't be doing that. It's why I think my next project is going to be figuring out at what low of a level can I kill Mog in Elden Ring. I've seen people do it at pretty low levels, but I'm interested to see if I can do it at like 50. I successfully defeated Ava in Dark Souls 2, the big ice tiger, at level 18. That was a nightmare. If you aren't aware of who that is, listener, I was fighting a giant tiger who's invisible unless you go to a thing. I did not fight him while invisible. I'm not that fucking nuts. But that meant I was fighting a creature that was meant to fight characters who were about level 100 with fully upgraded gear. And I did not have that. And as such, it would kill me in a single blow. And the fight on the completed run took over 20 minutes. But I did in fact do it. Why? I don't even remember.
Okay, wouldn't it be cool if... And that should
Yeah,
be,
can
like,
I
the
do this?
thesis.
I bet I can do this. The rollerbot's damage isn't even that impressive for a creature with 1,000 health. That's what I find odd.
Is it the Megabots that do more damage in this fight?
Oh, they do a decent amount, but they're not. Neither of them are particularly scary.
And Rollerbot
The
is
Rollerbot-
also weak to bullets.
Yeah, well, everything's weak to bullets if you think about it, except maybe tanks. Bang.
So
God, I
this guy
love
gets
you,
to
Michael.
summon back more Megabots.
Yeah, his only other action is he can summon goons. Not like a bad idea. Although I find the way that it's rhythmically thrusting to be unsettling.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I think the summoning goons is a good ability for the
Yeah, it's not
semi-boss
bad.
that has a giant pile of health.
It makes sense. I don't despise it. I think there's a bad belief that ads are like a bad RPG thing. It can be done well. It's just when it's done badly, ads become a fucking nightmare.
They're a very easy thing for gamers to point to and say, man, I fucking hate that.
Claudio, no.
We must avenge.
Kill that guy, Michael. Bang. Oh my god, it said something. Oh well.
I think it said retaliate.
It does appear like that little green one got way faster all of a sudden. It's attacking real fast.
Oh my god, the
So
little
maybe-
green one also has a very cute little sprite on the action track.
It kind of looks like it. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, it gave us like jack shit rewards. It was next to nothing. That was a terrible reward.
Especially for something you're intended to get halfway through the game.
No, it looks like you were meant to do this way later. I honestly can't figure out what the fuck the point of this is. Like, I said it put something in my inventory. I'm starting to think maybe it was like a music list for the mine dungeon, but I honestly don't know. I'm not gonna find it. I'm gonna be confused. But I'll be like, oh, at least this chest will have something good, right? Oh, it's the deep well? A fucking worthless card? Oh no!
Oh, wow, you just got
Why would... Yeah, useless.
Are you at least getting decent money out of the dungeons? I know we're running low
No.
on that. Aww. That's the 4th dungeon you've done now?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Barksy.
Bark, bark. How long as Barksy's here?
I wish we could take Barksy with us to into the finale.
Yeah, I wish Barksy could be a character instead of Rory.
But you like
I'm gonna-
Rory.
I know, I don't know why it's just some sort of instinctual desire to kick Rory. That being said, I totally would mod, if I could figure out how to mod Barksy into the party, I would.
Who would you replace, genuinely, who would you replace with Barksy?
You know what I already said. Rory is the least useful character in the party.
That's fair. Barksy and all of the dramatic Rory cutscenes.
I mean, oh, that would be pretty funny.
A bark bark.
My sister's dead, but instead it's just bark bark. Shut the hell up. We almost died. Bark bark. Michael, calm down. That's way out of line. Bark bark.
I don't know, I think there's potential here.
That's true. Can't wait for YIIK 1.8 when Barksy is the main character. No, really what I want is for them to redo the game so that Alex is a monster master and he's collecting cats and dogs and things to fight on his behalf.
I guess that will be YIIK 2.0.
Yeah. 2.5 will be when they turn it into an action rhythm game.
A 2.8 is when we get a big mech to play in the action rhythm game, and that's when the mech guy is going to come back around into the narrative.
Unfortunately, 3.0 will scrap all of that and it'll become a bubble bobble game. Look at me going, ah, fuck damn it!
Perhaps I should not be here right now.
Perhaps I should have done this after the Ascension dungeon.
And yet we persevere to the tune of another 50 minutes.
I don't even remember what happens for the rest of this.
Look, you got on top of the can. There's definitely a collision box across the tops of the candles in a lot of these cases.
Yeah, it's designed in a way to make sure you can't get away with this shit, unfortunately.
You only got to do it sometimes in the mine dungeon.
See, like, the way that Panda's floating on top of it, that's actually the top of the candle.
So that's 6. You've checked?
I think I'm also gonna walk back into the same dungeon at some point.
But I feel like they're distinct enough. Do you at least recognize that you've walked into the
Oh, I do, fairly quickly. I'm like, wait, I've been here. God damn it.
That's a relief, at least. I can't blame you for not having the best grasp on the overworld map. They don't make it very distinct.
I've noticed those two cars are always in the exact same place. They really should have bothered to fix that. If only because them honking at me is incredibly fucking annoying.
There's supposed to be train tracks? Is that why you can't drive up there?
Yes. That's meant to be at the train track.
I can't believe this place is a train. I wish I had a train.
It's a train in the least possible use. Yeah, see, I'm gonna go back to this one because I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna be like, wait, no, dumb sword person. Never mind.
Are we ever gonna get to go to that tower? Why'd they put a cool tower in the water?
That's the fake secret ending tower.
I see.
That's the secret ending you can only go to if you're the developers making a video pretending it's possible with a badly machine translated fake Spanish YouTube channel. I'll have to show it to you later. It's like a completely fake ending that does not exist, and people have data mined the whole game to prove it doesn't exist.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like the end. If you're curious about this, listeners, go check out Snake Rar's video, he explains this pretty much in depth. Goes over all of the details that matter. And I don't know why they would do that. It's obnoxious. What am I doing? I must have been like texting or drinking or pissing or something.
This is when you stop to see when do I get the candle ability.
No, I think I did that earlier.
I wish I understood the scaling of these dungeons, because it has, okay, this is a level 6 dungeon, but we recommend that you be level 14.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not figured it out at all. I kind of like this track. It makes me think about like a Mega Man game.
It makes me think of Grimbeard.
Yeah. I wonder if Grimbeard's ever looked at YIIK. I should try to get in contact with him. Not to like be like, hey, you're my favorite creator on YouTube and I deeply respect your work. Just be like, play YIIK!
Hey Grimbeard, please, have you ever heard of a video game?
Play this shitty game I like for reasons that don't even make sense to me.
Would you like a punching bag in the form of a ginger hipster?
God, is Alex so fucking punchable? If there was an Alex plushie, I would hang it from the wall via a noose and beat it while doing rapid boxing combos.
You would do to the Alex plushie as people have done to their Spamton plushies.
I would start Dempsey rolling it, rather.
We've got to look into this. The Alex plushie.
Slime girl plushie opportunities, life size.
Life size. Made of real slime.
Anatomically correct.
Is there YIIK merchandise? I'm afraid to ask.
Yeah, you can buy that picture of the everyone stepping on Alex's face.
Oh, with the beach? Is that they sold that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we found out about. That was the first time anyone knew Asuka existed, to my knowledge.
Bleed for me.
Was Asuka and Chandra threatening to step on Alex's head.
Okay.
Which, yes, listeners, is in fact a fetish thing. By the way, this is kind of an interesting puzzle. When you step on the certain block, it makes the blocks reappear. Now, I should point out, I have nothing against feet fetishists. However, that was definitely feet fetish content, so...
And using feet fetish content to introduce a character is really a bold move.
It's very odd. Can't say I understood the logic behind it. That was at the point in which I was full-on doomering about how this version of the game was gonna suck ass. And in reality, it's a dramatically improved game, so... I was fucking wrong.
I think the foot fetish is.
I guess the foot fetishism actually, like, paid out in the end. They're gonna get that feet ussy.
The fussy.
The pussy.
Wow.
Come on, step it up! You can imagine me sitting, tapping my foot impatiently, going, "You son of a bitch, just die!"
You know YIIK is art because it causes you incandescent rage.
Yeah, it definitely invokes emotions in me. But I mean, then you just have to devolve into the, like, what is and isn't art, is piss Christ art.
Yeah, I'm serious.
You don't... Well, yeah, of course it is, because if you try to say no to anything, you become exclusionary, and that's pointless. Look up Piss Christ, listener, if you want to distress yourself, but also go, wait, it was made by a Christian? Huh?
I think Christians are allowed to get weird with Christ.
Yeah, that's fine, but they're not actually allowed to get weird with Christ. It's like literally in their book that they're not supposed to.
Boo.
Who is that? That lady who draws those cute manises is a fucking Catholic. The manises with the huge bonkers.
Yeah.
Hearing those words makes me stare and go, what? Well, yeah, let's not exclude religious people right now. I've already taken so many swings at so many people.
We have to be more, I don't know, thoughtful about what nests we take our baseball bat to.
Mm-hmm. Especially when they have an entire cabal of priests dedicated to vanishing you. Oops. Well, we'll just cut that.
Okay, what is this? Is it supposed to be an onk?
I think so.
What I want to talk to them about the imagery of their tile work so badly. Why do some of these look like Minecraft window pane textures? Like, I've had that texture.
God, it's the song again. I'm falling asleep. Good night, listeners.
Good night, listeners. We're cutting here.
Sleep. Yeah, me. Oh, thank God, Michael. Get us out of here.
Michael, save us from the sleepy track.
Okay.
Why is it in the game, and why is it one of the most present themes? Why? It's not a... It would be nice on a lo-fi beats to chill on playlist, but it's not fucking Oh, I don't know how many times I've said it. God. No!
Let me out. Let me... Is this whole
Let
time
me
the sleepy
out.
track?
Why is it the sleepy track?
Wait, okay. No.
You still haven't drawn that sexy evil Vela.
I do still have to draw one of the Velas. I need to get myself some screenshots. Maybe I'll work on that.
I drew the slime girl. I have to still draw Bella though.
I get to draw the evil spiral tits, and you get to draw the bee.
Oh, that means I have to do the stripes. Oh, fuck, that's gonna be a challenge.
Okay, we can trade. I can do stripes, and you can do the
No,
spiral tits.
no, I insist I'm gonna do Bella.
You insist.
I have a fondness for bee girls.
I also have a fondness for bee girls. You can't claim those
Yeah.
for yourself.
No, they're mine. I'll fight you. I'll 1v1 you in Elden Ring or something.
And fucking die, and I'll fucking die. I'm not a gamer. Listeners,
I know,
please
that's why I
understand
said it.
I'm
I'm
not
not-
a gamer.
I know, that's why I fucking fight. I'll 1v1 you in chess, nerd.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. I'll still
Yeah, I'll
lose.
chess you over it. I better not lose. I was in the fucking chess club.
You were in the chess club? Oh my god, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure I told you this. Yeah, I was the worst player in the chess club. I was abhorrent. Mostly because I didn't take it seriously and I was just there to chat with my buddy. But at one point we got to go play another chess club from another school and I just took that as an opportunity to eat about 80% of the pizza there. I think I ate a pizza and a half and lost every single game until the teacher got mad at me and told me to wait outside. And then I think he kicked me out of chess club.
Evil gay. I wasn't in any fun clubs in high school. I was in our high school robotics club for 2 weeks, and then they said, yeah, you have to keep your grades above like a 3 or a 3.5, and I said, oh, I can't do that, and I left. It was also like 10 hours a week.
I did the chess club. I was in the drama club that was completely unsuccessful. I was in the unofficial poker club, which I fucking I aced every goddamn day we played until our shitty little hall monitor of a fucking school cop was like, "How you can't play poker? You're gambling." Despite the fact that we were using like plastic chips I had brought in, and we were not like keeping the chips. It was we divvied out an equivalent amount to everybody so that we had something to play for.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
just a way to
we
keep
would
score.
say, you won this lunch. But
that's how I
no,
played poker
you're
with my dad.
gambling. I was so fucking mad about that. I loved playing poker with my buddies.
I think children should be allowed to gamble. That's my one of my unpopular opinions.
Well, then you must love Fortnite.
No, not that kind of gambling. It has to be in person with other children.
No, you just want blood bets with children.
Yeah, I think it's a natural part of growing up that you want to bet stupid shit with your friends.
I suppose that's fair. I definitely played a lot of stupid games and won bullshit off of kids in elementary school. Like a Mewtwo Pog.
Oh, a Mewtwo
God,
Pog. That must have been
sleepy
so
music.
valuable.
No, look, new monster though.
Oh, the brain.
Brain in a jar.
We love brain in a jar.
Why has he got a little spike on top?
To keep birds from landing on him.
If I was a bird, I would. Oh, fuck.
It wasn't a club, but I was in the tech theater program at my high school. It was like a class, and that class required you to do like at least 40 hours of extracurricular work in order to get the credits for it.
All of your clubs sound just fucking terrible.
It was like, okay. The other two clubs I were in were both lame as fuck. I was in the anime club. Yeah, you can laugh at me. I was the normalest girl in anime club. That got me a lot of admirers. I wasn't like meowing and drawing furries in the corner.
Yeah, I didn't, except now you do those two things in your room, so...
Yes, I'm an adult. I'm allowed to choose to do those things. And then I was also in the very short-lived a cappella club with my girlfriend in high school.
Acapella club.
It is still riding the high of the Pitch Perfect series, the newest movie. I think 3 had just come out.
I don't know what any of these words mean. Do you know how to acapella the Mario theme?
Yes, but that's just because I was a shithead in middle school and would do it with my friends for like an hour at a time and drive our teachers insane.
Ah, yes, that's the best thing. Did you ever make your teachers cry in school?
Not that I ever saw.
I was in multiple classes that made teachers have mental breakdowns. I was never the responsible one, mind you. I was quiet as fuck in class. I just read my books.
I was once asked in a sophomore year as I was sitting in my English class. My teacher came over to me very worried. She's like, "Are you about to like start crying and have a breakdown?" I've had 3 other students sitting in this seat do that today.
That's weird.
And the actual answer to that question was yes, I was about to fucking lose it, but hearing that information made me stabilize, like, I can't be the 4th.
Well, the real question is what kind of curse was on that spot?
I don't know. Sure had a bad time sitting at that spot, honestly. It was a shit year for me.
Probably a ghost haunting it or something.
You know. Somebody killed in the remodel of the school that happened 6 years ago, torturing the students.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Trying to remember that other nonsense. I definitely did a lot of vandalism, though.
Didn't you once break an entire table?
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. As I broke it, I broke a table in the I didn't break the table, mind you. My buddy broke the table, but I was later accused of it by people, but never got in trouble. Me and my buddy, which we were both loners who didn't have any fucking friends, we would hang out in this little garden area in the middle of the school. It was like open air. It was kind of nice. And we would just sit there and like play cards, like Yu-Gi-Oh, or fucking chat about whatever. And because the tables were stone and cheap, they were built so they were 2 pieces, the second piece just literally being rested on top of what was the pillar that was holding it. So he was leaning back with his foot on it and was tilting it up and down, up and down, up and down, like an idiot. And then it tipped off the side, dropped, landed, and hit the ground with such a thump that it immediately broke into 3 pieces. Then he looked at me, looked at the table, looked back at me, and said, "Run!" and then sprinted away at top speed like a Naruto character.
Arms back and everything?
Yeah. And then I obviously followed him, and while we never got in active trouble, a teacher did at one point approach me and go, "Don't you sit out there sometimes?" And I went, "Yeah, once in a while." Why? What's wrong? He's like, someone broke the table. And I did my best. What?
Who could have
Which
done
table?
that?
Who would have done that? Oh my god. And then, I swear to God, this is true. My sister later would go to that exact same school, and this was years and years later. She looked at me and said, "Hey, did you break a table?" And I went, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, my teacher told me she remembered you and that you broke a table, but nobody could ever get you for it, so you just got away scot-free." And I started laughing. And I totally did. Sure, yeah.
You
Just
didn't
'cause that
even
made me
break
look
the
cool.
table. You just
But I didn't even break the table.
stolen valor. I can't believe it. Fake delinquent.
People also accused me of setting a trash can on fire, but that was actually my friend who set things on fire. That was not me.
No. We're not allowed to progress the game right now. We can't go to the mall.
No, I'm gonna immediately go to the next dungeon. No, I kept picking random fights that would last exactly one punch and would either lead in my enemy's demise or my demise. A lot of glass cannon builds in my high school.
I mean, that's it's hard for an adolescent to not be made of glass.
Not to be made of glass. Oh, I thought you said okay, yeah. Well, I don't know. When you're one of those big fat kids, it looks like you had lots of fucking HP.
Yeah, I mean, those are the only tanks. Speaking as one of them, I once had a backpack full of textbooks thrown at me, and I got back up.
At one point, you just awoke a memory inside of me. At one point, in like 5th grade, we were doing history class, and there was just some kid across me because we were in like a 4-seater kind of situation, and the teacher had walked out of class, and I don't remember why. I just hated this fucking kid, so I was just annoying him, and he was like, "If you don't fucking stop, I'm gonna throw my book at you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, do it." So he did. He picked it up and he tossed it, and because I immediately just slapped it out of the air and knocked it right down, and went, "Oh, what are you gonna do now?" And he looked so fucking mad. He left the room.
See, I didn't have those reflexes. I just took it.
No, see, I have the reflexes to avoid damage, because if I don't, I'll just die. Similarly, at my old lumber job, there was a drug addict who I was A, good friends with, and B, constantly pissed off because I can't stop myself. And he was really mad at me while he was hauling some 1x66s, little fence boards around. And he was like, "I gotta hate you so fucking much and your stupid fucking grin. Stop fucking making fun of me, goddammit." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? You gonna cry? So he picks up one of the fence boards, throws it at me, and then I twirled away like a ballerina.
No, we must love that.
Mm-hmm. He thought it was, to be fair, he immediately started laughing because it was so fucking stupid, and he was like, "Nah, it's fine now."
You succeeded on the clown check.
That same guy, so for the listeners, when you're building a lift of lumber, it's like a process and a half. It takes a lot of time to put hundreds of pieces of wood on a forklift so you can then band it together into a single load and put it on a truck. So what smart people do is they stab. They use the forklift's forks to actually go into a lift of wood and pick up the amount they need. But if you fuck it up, it can be real bad. And because he was a drug addict, he was exhausted. He was way fucking burned out and tired. So he went in on a full lift, fucked it up so bad that like 200 boards just went everywhere. It was a huge fucking mess. And my one buddy came over to like, "It's okay. We'll pile everything up on the forklift, then we'll pile everything back down, and then everything will be fine. It's fine." And then I walked up grinning and went, "Oh yeah, no, I got an answer for you. I know what you can do. I've done this exact thing. Lie. I know how to solve this problem. Do you want the answer? Do you want the answer?" And he's just looking at me, exhausted and miserable. And he goes, "Yeah." And I just lean in and I go, "Get good," and start howling with laughter. And see, now the next part I wasn't aware of, because I spun around and walked away laughing. But what I did not see was he took a swing at me at that moment. He took a full-on punch at me, but because I spun around in that moment, it appeared that I completely read the attack and just casually dodged it as clearly as possible, to the extent that both him and my buddy were like, "What the fuck?" But in reality, I never even saw the punch. I just happened to dodge it. However, for weeks, he was convinced I was secretly a martial artist. So,
Nah, just a Dark Souls player.
to be fair, I did start an underground sword fighting ring in that yard.
Not real
That was
swords.
fun.
Sometimes worse than real swords.
No, we were using wooden slide. The lifts would come with these pieces of wood that go in between the lumber the other way to keep them all even up. And they're like the perfect size for a dumb fucking boy to hit each other over the head with. They're like perfect for it. And you could like tape them together. And we got really complicated on this to the extent that we had an entire league of people once a week who were testing out their new insane concoctions.
Oh my god, are we finally going to the mall?
Yes, we're finally here. I don't have to finish the story.
Is that it? I can't believe it. We actually found it.
The first step is to calm down. Let's all get around the van, and then one of us will knock. Let's be ready to fight, since we don't know what's inside.
I don't want to sound like a wuss, but why are we doing this again?
Because we have to save the android!
Okay, good enough.
We have to save the android! He says it with so much energy.
What are those kids doing with this mysterious van?
Look, it's a mall rat,
Doesn't
so
anyone
they
else find
literally
this a
have a
little
rat
odd?
tail. Ha 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 ha.
So the soul survivors are working with the mall rats.
I love that quote. Can we just
Don't be
can the
stupid.
mall can that be a
Something
video
isn't right
description?
here.
That's such a funny
Okay,
line.
so those kids have the keys to the van. The only
You know what I don't
thing
like? The
is
fact
track
that there's
them
only
down
like
and ask them
4
nicely for it.
vehicle models. This is making me
And
think
when
of
they
those
say no, we
background
kick
shots
that
in
12-year-old
Ruby
dog's butt.
where the same character is, there's
Okay,
6 characters
sounds like a plan.
copied twice,
Wait,
but for
can,
some reason,
anyone pick a
one
lock?
car is unique amongst all of these cars, just like how there was only one ginger in that one group shot. Look, there's exactly one, what do they call it, a sedan?
Band of misfit friends.
Oh god, Claudio, don't, no. Claudio, no.
Don't pretend you didn't think it.
Claudio,
So to
no.
answer your racist
Come on,
ass question,
Claudio.
I cannot pick a lock.
This
Well,
is such a
at least
weird...
not a car
This is a
lock.
conversation
I
happening
went
in an
through a
open
Sherlock
top
Holmes
Jeep
phase
next to a bunch
learned
of
to pick
mall
basic
rats and a
locks.
mysterious
Imagine
van.
this conversation's
antique
occurring and
locks,
Alex is
Egyptian
yet
wooden
to
pin
move
locks,
from
a
putting his
boarded lock,
stupid little
RFID
So
lock,
long,
that's
Bowser!
expression he's got.
But definitely not a car lock.
Also, hey, if
So,
Claudio
just to
actually
clarify,
knew
you
lockpicking, he
can't
would know
pick
the
locks.
classic
No.
rule that you only really need one kind of lockpick for most locks. The, what are they
We're
called, the
wasting
jiggler?
time. Let's
Mhm.
go after the brats.
And B, like, it would have actually been funnier if he did know in this instance.
And
He
honestly,
could have just said,
given-
I don't have my lockpicks on me.
And even then, it's 1999. There's not going to be that complicated of an electronic lock system on this van.
Why did they copy, like, every car is copied except that fucking sedan. That's so annoying.
I mean, what sedan?
No, isn't it a station wagon? I think it's called a station wagon.
Yeah, there's station wagons, but there's two station wagons in this parking lot.
What do you mean? There's not another one?
Mhm.
Oh, but it's green.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a
so
green one
there
and a blue
is
one.
technically 2, but they're different colors.
Mhm.
God, that's so... Why are they so... Man, this reminds me of a high school project where you gave up halfway.
Mm-hmm. You're like, oh fuck it.
Speaking of the entire mall, I wander around and look at everything in here, and there's so little. I'm not even gonna bother reading the dialogue these ding-dongs say. You're 500 sexist because women have more clothing stores. This is what I mean by the weird incel-adjacent dialogue.
Alrighty then.
That'll do, pig. Oh, behave, yeah. Yeah, baby. Which is not the line, it's yeah, baby, yeah. Couldn't have bothered to fact check that. Can't talk to that one.
A quirky. Fill the void in your life with stuff.
My mother did that, except I never grew into anything because I'm a rail of a creature. So in reality, I just constantly was wearing misfitting, ugly clothing. pick up those Pocket Monster games.
That's too mom to die. What? It was such a funny noise.
Yeah, you have to chase the rat around. I didn't even realize I was just staring at thing. There's an arcade here, but it's gone. Yeah, because I wanted to see if there was anything of note, and no. Let's see, an athlete, a basket case, a princess, and a criminal. I'm going to think about that for several minutes. Pay no attention to whatever anyone's praise or blame. I simply follow my own feelings. You know what? I looked at that guy again because I used to know somebody who went by the name Wolfgang online, and that term directly references him somehow. He was the exact kind of person who had no consideration for it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, basket case, a criminal. Like, who are they talking about?
It's a Breakfast Club reference.
Okay, but like, who's the criminal? Like, who's the criminal in our party?
Is he looking at Claudio?
Yeah, like, is that... Did we immediately get the racism now? Shh, I'm trying to hear. Mind you, you can't interact with these, like, quote-unquote boy band characters, and they're not actually playing music or anything, so it's barely even a joke. Once again, it just feels like a weird kick at women. There's an entire... Oh, that's the video I'll put here of that Twilight video by ContraPoints.
Oh, the ContraPoints Twilight video is so good.
It makes the correct opinion that there's a lot of cases in which men will attack things that women like as being unworthy of their attention, but they never authentically attempt to gather why they like it. They just want to kick something and they don't really think it through. So there's an argument to be made whether or not why is his name John? Whether or not it's authentically misogynistic or it's just like unintentionally misogynistic, and is that better? Is that worse? And the answer is I don't really care. I just wish people would think about their actions and learn from them. Instead, they get gamergated and then they just got worse. And now they're screaming about how the wokes are gonna ruin Stellar Blade because her ass crack isn't fully showing.
They wokeified as a Siri in the new...
Oh, yeah. Siri, how dare they? They made Siri look like a man because she has an adult woman's face.
Even though she has, like, more prominent cheekbones and fuller lips. Like,
Fuller lips, and she's got actual curves because she's an adult now. They unsexified her, and you go, I'm sorry? She was, like, 16. Actually, I think she was older than that. I think she was an adult by then, but still, a little weird.
I'm sorry you're not attracted to women is the only possible response I can have to people like that.
Oh, you're attracted to young girls. Oh, that's super fucking bad for you. I'm sorry, I'll tell the police about it. Maybe they can help you. Who am I kidding? The police would probably just clap.
They clap and then shoot something.
Shoot something vaguely Claudio shaped. Oh, thank God it was just a bush. Because, you know, his hair kind of looks like a bush. Whatever.
You know, I think there is a missed opportunity in having Dolly be able to track the mouse.
Yeah, that would have been fun if you had to follow Dolly around instead. But classic mistake by people who aren't good at the writings is that they typically will immediately turn animals into an object rather than a character. And sorry that I'm shitting on you brothers so much, but do better. I'm not going to make the argument that Dolly needs to be a character. This is already a convoluted enough plot line. Who's that? By the way, the exact same woman model, but except they made one of their hairs red. Anyway, the problem is more that Dolly enters your existence, but then just sort of is there. They have done a lot better of a job of having them involved, but I really do feel like Dolly could be a little more relevant.
Hey,
At the very least, Dolly could
Why
be
are
in
you
these
guys running
shots.
from us?
It'd be kind of fun.
What?
Nodding.
This is a normal
God,
encounter
not
for the
this.
90s.
I think I'm already regretting
you
that
seen
Dolly
this
opinion, to be honest. It's probably
Yeah,
fine.
it's called These Little Brats Have Been Watching Too Much Goosebumps and Reading Too Much H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft was not that popular in
Look,
the 90s.
we don't have time for these stupid games. The
Like, people
darkness
knew
hasn't
about it,
commanded
but it
you to
wasn't
do
like a
anything.
kid thing. It
Give us
hadn't
the
reached
keys to
cultural
the van,
explosion
and we
yet,
can all
or
There
go
weren't-
exposure
play
yet.
our
There weren't
Go
Cthulhu
home,
plushies.
wash off
Yeah,
your
people were not
eyeliner,
that aware of
apologize
this
to your
kind of
parents, and
stuff.
go back to being normal
This is
kids.
what I mean by they want to invoke the
Wow,
aesthetics
Bella.
of 99.
Sounds
They
like
never
you're
quite
speaking from
nail it.
experience.
I'll ignore that one for now, Michael. Okay, looks like we're going to have to beat up
By the
some
way, the
twerps.
kids spoke once, and then we never got further interactions till this fight starts.
And now they're some kind of terrifying amalgam.
Yeah, they did this in 1.2, I guess, to make the fight more interesting, but it just...
None of these look
doesn't
like
make
the
any
kids who were
sense.
in that group.
Yeah, they didn't even, like... It kind of works. I just wanted to see if I could spawn more gothic entities.
spawn a rat.
That would have been fun. Could have spawned the mall rat. They used to be an enemy. I forget when they used this song before. I think this used to be the Golden Llama fight, or the Golden Alpaca fight. Could be wrong though.
I'm not sure either. We would have to, like, go check the Oni plays.
Yeah. Well, no, Oni Plays wouldn't have it because that was after the Alpaca update. I would need to go find the other Let's Play I have for this instance.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like what would have been playing with the Golden Alpaca.
I could be wrong though. It was either this or it was something really twee. By the way, did you see Michael just get fucking
Get
owned?
fucking flattened. I'm very familiar with the experience of being flattened.
So, this enemy does now have a mechanic. It just grew halos, and while nothing about the game is going to make this obvious, it's acting like a pseudo shield. That's why it has the circle there. But you can get rid of it by banishing it. However, the shield is so fucking powerful that I'm not even, like, inflicting any damage on it. So I'm going to spend far too long just trying to, like, bonk this thing, not figuring it out.
I mean, it's not.
Because it's not intuitive that banish would work in this situation.
The only possible connection is, oh, they were with a soul survivor, so maybe doing something that works.
Yeah, this is
against
a soul
survivor
survivor,
would.
ergo I should banish it. That's the connection, but normally you can't banish bosses, and this is clearly a boss, so I don't know.
Everything in the game
Like-
so far has taught you that attempting it would be a waste of time, and you should instead just try and hit it, because it's the usual solution to the problem.
There have been instances where hitting non-bosses has been useful, like banishing the soul survivor Y and X is pretty handy.
Yeah, but those are at least
But yeah, I
labeled
agree.
as soul survivors.
Like, look how little I am doing to it. It's very much not working. So, and if I hadn't happened to get Vela out next, this fight would have actually probably gone against me.
It does so much damage. Those are the mace hands are genuinely scary to me.
It certainly hits hard enough that my defensive capacity is not high enough.
Do you think Rory could be mechanically useful in this fight? Would his retaliation
Well,
help
his
burn the
parry
shield down?
does protect him from damage, so maybe, but it still requires him to get hit, not everybody else.
It still
I'm not
makes
sure
it
if
big.
putting Vela in the back means she's less likely to get hit or not. I honestly don't understand, like, priorities at all, so...
At least you finally figured out the banish.
Yeah. I'm surprised Claudio has survived this long.
Surprisingly tanky, and he gets to miss out on a hit on his jump moves.
More than one sometimes. So overall, a pretty well-rounded character.
You're almost there.
Claudio, no, you can do it, buddy. Yeah. We got $6. 100 XP though. What is the white one doing?
Holding back the little one.
But
Okay,
they all
guys,
look
when did you
terrified. So
first
what?
meet the soul survivor?
Also, those hands, I gotta say, are not.
Yeah, they're scary.
Spirit being dropped his keys. I picked them up, and ever since.
Why
I've
was the
been
soul
doing his
survivor
bidding.
holding keys?
Doing his bidding? The soul survivors aren't some Saturday morning cartoon villains. They wouldn't ask you to help them with some evil plan. I'm gonna go ahead and assume you just picked up the keys and carried them around pretending to be its evil minions. Okay, you can go.
And they're already gone.
Why would the soul survivors be driving around an android? What the hell is going on here?
Hey, look, haha, Alex. She
Maybe
said the
once we
thing.
open it up, we can find some clues.
What the hell is going on? That is actually a
Walking
common
back to the
thing
van.
that friends do.
Why was I so convinced finding this
You look
android
for
was
clues?
such a good thing?
Alex jump scare. Alex
Why
jump
was I
scare.
putting myself in danger like this?
And no,
A lot of
copy
times I felt
each
like I was an
other's
android
phrasing and
circling around a
terminology.
strip waiting for
I'm
clues.
why the entire
For a purpose.
group now is infected
My
by
name is
saying
Alex,
nod.
android hunter.
It's such a good shorthand when you're in a voice chat.
I
Alex,
thought.
soul
I also
survivor
have lost. Now whenever I lie and I'm worried people don't know, it's because of Grimbeard. I constantly quote Parapug and just say lie.
She was beautiful.
I don't know what's the
Muscular
flickering
facial,
is. It stops at this point, but it made me
smooth
really
plastic
worried.
skin, slick curves,
Yeah. Or Alex, you want to jerk
perfectly
off?
sculpted face that reminded me of one of the
Wanna
anime
watch
girls
me
on
jerk
Claudio's
off?
shirt.
What do you see? Anything
The
interesting?
anime girls on
She's
Claudio's
incredible.
shirt. And I disagree. The anime girls in Claudio's shirt are A, supposed to be like really young, and B, if she was like an anime girl, she should have huge honking tits. Oh yeah, here comes the exposition dump that is all a lie. Well, most is a lie? Unknown quantity of lies.
Time for an unreliable narrator.
Alex, my favorite soul. I must
Good
thank you
visual,
for
though.
coming to retrieve me.
What's happening?
I imagine you are wondering who I am, why I know your name, and where we are going. I think it is necessary that I first introduce myself. I am the Essentia 2000. I am an android, made from 2-part epoxy resin and melamine. My consciousness is natural, but my physical form is man-made. I exist in all realities simultaneously, and can account for all parallel versions of my soul.
All of them? 100%.
For the question that is burning away at you the most, how do I know your name? You and I have met time and time again. We are soulmates, in the true sense of the word. This is the part where you say, "I've never met you before," and then silently add, "except in my dreams." This can and will be explained. Many months ago, you had the pleasure of making the acquaintance of a Miss Semi Park. Semi had begun the process of leaving her physical form behind. When you met her, she had already made up her mind to leave her body and enter into the place between places, the soul space. You disrupted her transition. Shortly after, you witnessed 2 soul survivors taking her away. Those 2 entities were that 2/3 of her soul that had transitioned. 2 injured parts that hadn't begun to heal. Now you are thinking, how can you possibly know all this? I was there.
You can't see her other hand is up his ass and puppeting
and
him.
Semi
None.
is
Oh,
me.
then never mind.
When one soul leaves a reality, another can freely enter. The only requirement necessary is having some relation to the departing soul, whether it's being a parallel version of the departing or having an emotional connection to the departing. When Semi left your reality, I entered. Before that, this physical form was destroyed, captured, and held prisoner by the 2 entities that you just defeated in combat.
I just defeated 2
Ever
entities.
since
Which
then, I
2?
had tried to return.
There was
But as my
one.
physical form still held trace amounts of my consciousness, I had to wait until Semi, this reality's version of me, died or escaped into the soul space. Upon her voyage into the void,
So she was the thick, white GF soul survivor.
As I gained my
Oh.
strength. Finally, I was able to appear to you and guide you to the radio tower.
After watching you jerk off for
I needed
weeks
you
on
to find
end.
my physical form so that I could speak with you.
But what did...
Bella's record have to do with my physical form? I am glad to see you are keeping up with all of my robotic exposition.
Bad writing
I am
trick
the
to
Ascension
point to the
2000.
failure you're making.
I am Sammy Park. I am Oda Kreutzer. Aylis Albert. Surya Yamama. I am Bella Wild. Beta Himura. And many more.
But...
I do not mean to imply that I go by all of these names and that I happen to share the name of two women in your life. I am explicitly saying that I am them and they are me.
You're gonna have to explain how this is all possible.
First, I will begin with the dreams you had of me. As a spirit, we are not restrained by physical barriers. However, without a body, it is impossible to astral project. When you slept, I was able to enter inside of your vessel and use it to launch my spiritual form out into the world to seek my physical body. I am sorry that I violated you in such a way, but it was the only way for me to find my body and make physical contact with you. By now, you are aware of the soul space, the location where each universe and reality coexist. Each universe has a set number of souls. Adjacent to your reality is another that contains someone with the same soul as yourself. In one reality, I am Surya Yamama, a Palestinian girl on the run from financial trouble. In another, I am Bella Wild, a talented musician whose only setback is the pressure I put on myself.
That's a weird thing to say considering her setback seemed to be getting fucking NTR'd out of reality.
A pan-dimensional android made of plastic, created so that I can better understand myself in all of my realities.
A what?
Are we now leaving the exposition zone?
No, we're moving into exposition zone number 2 of 5.
A 5?
Oh, I didn't even record all of the exposition. We're into the exposition dungeon. This is 1.0 visuals, by the way.
I am sorry I had to take you away from your friends like that. Please bear with me as I take you on a tour of my parallel lives.
Why do your lips flow?
Where exactly are we going?
We are going into a very dangerous place. My dungeon of the mind. Here I will share with you my other selves. I am doing this in hopes that you will one day understand the nature of reality.
Why do you feel that I need to understand the nature of reality?
That, Alex, is something I have to show, not tell.
Immediately, I'm like, what? Huh? What?
Jesus, I already got cards.
Uh-huh. They aren't very good, though, so I'm immediately going to swap them out.
And we also got all of our cards from the rest of the party dumped back into our inventory.
After several moments of thinking, I realized what the obvious thing I should do is. Which is spam the fuck out of Poison Apple so that I can smash the shit out of every single fight in here. Haha, look at that. Now we've got doubled HP. Whee! I love going into the space butthole.
We are going into our mouth. That is what an esophagus would look like if it was glowing on the inside.
I don't think you're correct, but okay.
I came to exist 6 years ago, in the winter of 1993. In 1993, I only knew myself to be Naila El-Amin. I was a physicist who became fascinated by the metaphysical results of my experiments. After receiving terrible news, I became increasingly depressed. In this period of struggle, I began to become aware of the space in between spaces, the soul space. I longed to leave my reality and explore the various facets of existence I had just discovered. But my body was weak, and I was going to die. I feared separation from my own body, so I created the Essentia 2000. Except it wasn't that me, Nyla Elamine, who brought the plastic me into existence. I was weak, and my completion of the Essentia 2000 was many months off. But then, something incredible happened. I came to be, through the intellect of another me, of Vladimira Tsar. In that reality, I was a Russian woman with similar goals. Sans the severe sorrow and physical fatigue. As the Essentia 2000, I explored the soul space and became aware of all the different versions of myself. The Essentia 2000, the Essentia 1999, and the yet-to-be-created Essentia 2890.
So you mean to say that Vela and Sammy share the same soul, but they are not the same person?
Essentially, yes. We have the capacity to be anything that we like to be. More often than not, we get to be the thing we least want to be. If you join me now, I'd like to take you on a journey. A journey so that you can better know Sammy, Vela, Nyla, and the other versions of myself. In doing so, I think you may learn something that you so desperately need to know.
Wow.
I think
What
they
a
needed,
big load of exposition.
I think they needed a couple more camera shots of this room to get through that whole chunk of dialogue.
Yeah, we looped at least 6 times. That was, God. That was a lot, huh?
At least we're back on progress and out of the dungeon grind.
Yeah, now the next episode is nothing but the dungeon. Which we may or may not do, who knows. Any lasting comments you'd like to leave with?
Like, comment, subscribe. Please help get us out of the YIIK mines. Please, please, please.
No, we're gonna immediately start over at the end of this YIIK Let's Play with another YIIK Let's Play, except you'll be playing it.
No.
Bye, listeners.
Good night.